Right.
So, I'll just carry on talking what I was talking about.
Yeah, like, yeah. I've got a camera just so I just sort of play around with it.
Camera?
Yeah.
A picture?
Yeah.
Wait until I take a picture on stage. Actually, they might will they let you in with
Well, I've got a crew pass, so if I can get something
you might, yeah. So you're from...
Well, I'll save you filming.
Yeah, we're going to take a break from touring in Europe and England and stuff after August. Well, I mean, no, not England, because we can still play occasionally in London and things. But we got into the situation where we sort of did Shock of Daylight and then Heads and Hearts, and that was like a load of songs that we'd written from 1983 onwards, from Easter of 1983, was sort of through 1984. And we sort of found that until we got that record out, until we got those two records out, we couldn't write any more songs because we hadn't sort of finished what we were doing at the time. You know? I find it very hard to write songs without... I can't collect like 20 songs or something. I start to lose my way.
Was Shock of Daylight a reaction to All Fall Down?
Yeah, a bit.
Short
Well, sort of. It's just that All Fall Down gave people sort of an image of the group, which wasn't totally... well, that again stems back to like 3 years ago. That's the time when we were getting out of it all the time, really. So I think the album reflects it, although probably not as much as it could have done. It's either better or worse for people listening to it. I don't know.
Did you think that All Fall Down was a bit sort of bitty? Because I know a lot of people.
Yeah, I did.
So side one is good, side two is just fillers.
Yeah, I mean the reason we put all the good songs on side one is because so you only had to play side one if you wanted to, you know.
And I do.
And like,
and I do.
And not play side two at all, ever. You don't even sort of wonder what's on the other side.
Sorry.
That's fair enough. No, I don't either. No, I know what you mean.
But do you see yourself sort of singles have never really got much airplay apart from Andy Peebles recently? Do you see yourself more as a sort of single album than
well, we don't really see ourselves like in any straight way like that. I mean, in any particular way. I mean, I think we have become an albums band, unfortunately, but more to do with what people find acceptable on the radio than anything else.
So do you have any control over what's released? Do you sort of have to say?
Yeah, although you see, we write a variety of songs and we just write different things to suit how we feel at different times. And sometimes you write something that is more melodic or something that's more quieter than other things, you know. And it's funny how it's always those ones that get picked up by the record company as being the singles, and I don't necessarily always agree with their choice.
It's their choices, and you don't have any say.
But you can't make them money. I mean, if you're doing an album, you've got all the songs you wanted on that album. What they then pick as singles is really up to them. I mean, I think it is up to them in a way. I mean, it's their label. I mean, they can do what they like. So we don't worry too much about getting involved with the label as long as they don't tell us what to do.
So you don't really attach too much importance to singles, chart success, UK, if it's...
I know it's not music importance. I mean, there obviously is some, how big you are important. I mean, the only way to get anywhere at all at the moment, it seems, is to have a hit single. The only way to get anywhere beyond where you already are, it doesn't matter what sort of band you are, if you're in a really small group somewhere, it's getting harder and harder just to get anyone to come and see you play. You know? It's a bit depressing. Like Leeds. I mean, who was that Leeds? And we've done that's on the verge of having our 5th album out.
Yeah.
No, our 5th album was out.
You said that Leeds.
You'd think, I just thought there would be more people than that who'd have heard of us. You know.
The comment you made was, what was it, 5th album was still unknown.
So I mean, are you content to be, as it says on the press release, the static press release, critics band?
I don't like being a critics band. Saying, what's a critics band anyway? I mean, they change their mind like next week anyway. So,
but I mean, do you want to reach more people? And if so, how do you think you're going to do that? Or is Static going to be able to do it?
That is what we're thinking about at the moment. How are we going to reach more people without changing our music? But then you see, we're in a sort of strange situation because it's not like I don't think we're a very esoteric group. You know, we're not an avant-garde sort of orchestra thing like scratch music. I mean the old scratch music was like
it's a very distinctive sound.
Yeah, but it's not inaccessible anyway. It's not as if we have to sell out. It is just a question of more people hearing it. I mean, I think something like the Smiths, I don't particularly like the Smiths, but I think they start off from basically a very melodic, very accessible starting point. So there's really nowhere they can't go. I mean, no one's going to turn around to the Smiths and say they've sold out, because they're already melodic and everything that a pop group should be anyway. So.
It's from the progression from Jeopardy through to Heads and Hearts, you still become more melodic. Are you still angry young men in that sort of sense? It's a cliche question, I thought it was right.
No, I don't. I think even people who write songs like Tom Robinson don't go around the whole time being angry. I mean, like he used to write a lot of protest songs. Someone like Dylan in the 60s, I mean, I think that's what got me down a bit, was the fact that people associate so much to what you sing on your records that they think you really are like that. And what I tried to do since All Fall Down, anyway, was show that I'm actually a human being as well.
How do you react to hero worship?
You know what I mean?
How do you react to hero worship?
Hero worship, I don't actually get hero worship, so not as such. But then you see, we're the sort of band where people wouldn't go up to you and say, "You're my hero," because they wouldn't. I think they were being stupid. Although I personally have my heroes anyway, so I wouldn't say it was stupid.
Who are your heroes?
Iggy Pop.
We'd be very careful in the States.
Lou Reed. And at the moment, this is going to really shock you, isn't it? I don't know. I think Bruce Springsteen's great. And one thing I find about something like that is he played in London, right? And he's putting forward in his songs, maybe in a subtle way, but he's putting forward a really sort of like, America is a bunch of shit and it should be a lot better than it is. And everyone takes him as being Reagan's favourite son and stuff like this. It's not what he's about, you know what I mean? So it's like, it doesn't matter how big you are, you're still going to be totally misunderstood anyway. So why bother to say anything? But there are people to whom, a lot of the people that went to see Bruce Springsteen, they're very, they probably vote Tory, half of them, and it's like they're not listening to his lyrics. They're not really listening. They might be hearing his lyrics, but they're not really listening to what he's saying. And that
people just don't listen to the lyrics.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, that's an important part of Springsteen, is the lyrics, and they're not just about cars and girls. Although he used that as a major metaphor, I agree. But not all his lyrics are about that, or even the ones that have like cars in them aren't necessarily about cars. Stuff like this. So.
The lyrics are very important to you.
Yeah, to me, yes. I mean,
Are they more
lyrics
important
are
than
half the
music?
song.
Are the lyrics more important than the music?
No, as important as music. It's just like half the song is the lyrics to me. I mean, music should go with the lyrics, and that's why I don't like side 2 of All Fall Down, because the marriage between the lyrics and the music, apart from On Glass and Smoke, that's a pretty thing. It's a strange thing anyway, but it seems to be going.
So remember
from us.
When that came out, one review said that Red Paint was just a rip-off of the concerts.
Well, the concerts?
Yeah. Whether
No,
that
it
was
wasn't,
still was Red Planet or
I
not.
don't know. I don't really pay much attention to what anyone writes.
Who do you write for? Do you sort of think or worry about what the other record company or the audience is going to think about what you're writing at the moment?
No, I really don't, because I don't know. I think it's my job not to worry about them. If you put it like this, if you listen to everyone else's opinion of what you're doing, you'd end up going on stage and doing nothing. Because what makes anything interesting is this individuality or something that is unique or whatever. And I think it's hard enough being unique. It's hard enough being individual in rock music anyway, without crushing the last semblance of it out of what you're doing. And I always feel that if you really like something, there's always going to be someone else who really hates it, And if you listen to the people that hate it, and you change it because of that, in other words, if you listen to what people say about your music and then take it to heart and then do something about it, suddenly the people that really like you all along will turn around and say, well, what the hell did you do that for? Oh, because they said I didn't like that. So, you see what I mean? I never listen to what anyone says. In fact, I never listen to. I read all the reviews we get because it's interesting. I mean, anyone would read about themselves. It's like, what someone else has got to say about you. It's interesting, but I think in many ways, bands that take journalists and stuff too seriously, it's a very bad thing. I mean, it's like, if you've got a successful formula, and you've got all these people raving about you, those people are going to say, right, let's do it, right, we're on the formula, let's go, like, next album like that album, and we'll be really taking off. And that's what the record companies love you to think like that, because then they can work on an image and a formula and push it to the public, and yet, if someone slagged off what you were doing, they go, oh, got to change it. So it's never really healthy, I think, to listen to what other people have got to say about what you're doing. I mean, if it's good, if you know it, if you think it yourself that it might be a load of crap what you're doing, then change it. But that's you, isn't it? That's like you. It's you making up your own mind about what you're doing. Do you know what I mean? When I got doubts about some of the things we've done, I got doubts about some of the really strong things that I've said. I knew why I said them once, and then I can see how, in the course of time, that can be taken the wrong way. I mean, like Golden Soldiers, right? Because really, what I wanted to do was show that there are other people fighting for things other than the Falklands War. I mean, everyone was going on about the spirit of the Falklands, right? But I mean, and yet, obviously, something like the Miners wasn't the spirit of the Falklands. Do you see what I'm saying? I mean, it's still people. I mean, so I'm not going to slag the Thatcher down totally like I used to, because some people believe. I mean, she believes in what she's doing, you see, and in a way, I respect that she believes in it. And the same way I respect the fact that the Miners believed in what they were doing as well. And I'm just trying to point out that if you believe in something really strongly, you are going to kind of kill for it or die for it and stuff like that. And there are two sides of every story in that respect. Do you know what I'm getting at? Sure, yeah. You can't just say, that was great, our boys going off and killing all those Argentinians. And, no, we can't have anarchy in our streets, because we can't have people demoing demonstrations and CND. You know what I mean? That is just hypocrisy, that's what it is. And I was trying to get rid of that aspect inversely, my own hypocrisy. Because I think I was a hypocrite as well at one time. I still am a bit of a hypocrite, I suppose. Just, it's always, as long as I'm thinking about it, then I'm going to get closer to not being a hypocrite, and it's impossible, I think.
I know what I was going to say.
Christians of a loony rock star here. See, our stuff touches on sort of psychoanalysis at times, I think. I mean, I'm a definite basket case. I mean, I often feel that if I wasn't singing in a group, I don't know what I would do with all that spare energy for a start. Well, I'm serious. I mean, what would I, if I was in a job, a regular job, where you're not allowed to really go crazy at any time, then where would that go? I mean, where would my energy just go?
Do you think that's what's going to keep you going through
my energy?
The next 3 or 4 years? What keep you sort of writing and
I think a lot of it is that I think in a way musically we're the lucky ones. I mean, like U2, I think are sort of burning out now because they got so big early on. And I think Boy was a good album actually. Although I don't particularly like what they stand for, But I don't. Again, if they believe in it, then that's up to them, But I like the way they put it across on Boy. But I think they've been on a slide ever since. And the thing about the sound is, we started that people can see, they're on a slide all fall down, But then we came back. We have really taken a year off and then did Shock of Daylight. It sort of meant a lot to me to do that, to come back with it. That's half the reason it was a 6-track album, to make it more compact, not such a big thing. It's like, if you close, something with a smaller, it's like a high-heeled shoe. It has more pressure than a big thing of the same weight. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's good.
That's why we wanted
Fantastic simile.
No, it's just like the smaller the point of pressure is, the more impact it has.
Restrict your sort of range.
Yeah. So we decided to make it a coherent. Well, that's another thing to make it a coherent mini album. as opposed to
Do you think
Awful Down, which was an incoherent
Awful
album.
Down would have been better as an EP, 4-track EP.
6-track.
Well, that would be better as a 6-track mini album.
Yeah.
With more care taken over the songs that mattered.
This,
We thought that
They could have
Shockadelic-
still made its point, I think.
We thought that Shockadelic was sort of like when Ian said about it being a reaction to Awful Down. It was as though you did sort of six decent songs on Awful Down or 5 or whatever. But next time you decided, perhaps because you were in a new record company, you decided that allowed you to put a mini album out, so you didn't have to put all the fillers in.
Yeah, but then you wouldn't have been fillers, because it would have been like the other tracks would have been Whirlpool, Love Is Not a Ghost, and Money for Heart.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't have been fillers. It would have been a really good album. But I don't know. I just like the idea of making something to be cheaper as well, and also not just to have like another sound album, which is what Heads and Hearts suffered from. Again, even after Shockadelic, we still came back with suffering from, in terms of the public response and everything, and the press.
do you think you've got
Still
a bad
just
name?
become another. We haven't got a bad name. We just haven't got the name. It's just people haven't really heard our music really. I don't think. Few people haven't. They've either made up their mind to like it or hate it. And people really seriously hate what we're doing. I don't quite know why. I think it's because I put things over in maybe a deliberately. I couch things in a certain way lyrically, maybe. That people. I mean, they are designed to get people's backs up, but I mean, obviously, it succeeds.
Do you find it easy to write, or is it a chore to actually sit down and do hard work?
They are designed to get people's backs up, but I mean, obviously, it succeeds.
Do you find it easy to write, or is it a chore to actually sit down and do hard work, or can you actually sort of...
No, I just write things like I write like a letter first, really, to myself. Don't mail it anywhere. Just write it all out really, really quickly. I just get a feeling or an idea, mainly a feeling, and just write it down, and then in the course of time, maybe a few words get changed. I sort of edit it. I edit my own sort of subconscious ramblings, if you like. I sort of take Patti Smith one stage a bit further towards normality. She's a heroine of mine, that is. Definitely Patti Smith comeback year next year.
Okay.
Definitely. Well, I'm going to start anyway.
Mike's got the Waterways having a good go. Are there any songs that
I'm
hoping to do a Waterways interview?
They quite like you as well.
Yeah.
They don't.
Yeah.
Well,
You're going to be joking.
No, hang on. You said, what was it, a while ago? You said you seemed interested when I mentioned that I'd been to see the Saint. He seemed interested when I mentioned that I'd been to see the Saint, because I know him, well, sort of an acquaintance.
It's really weird that. But you still see him every now and then.
I haven't seen him for a while. We're hoping to stay there tonight.
Well, you can tell him. That's really weird because I was really impressed by their last album.
Have you heard get the 12-inch of the big music?
Well, now that to me is a great song.
There's a track on the 12-inch called The Earth Only Endures, which is it's just Mike Scott on guitar, and this is Thunderstorm from the Rupert Hine album. And it's a traditional Sue Death song, and it's brilliant. That's really good.
Well, you can tell Mike Scott that I really like what he's doing.
Well, we can
That's
get in
from
touch
80.
with him.
That's from 80 from Sound.
We came up with
We'll give him your phone number.
Yeah.
And I'm another big Patti Smith fan, but that's not nothing to do with the fact that I like what he's doing. I don't hear Patti Smith in him.
See this cover of Dancing Barefoot and another track that I don't know. What's that called? There's a really good version of License to Kill as well. Are there any songs that you wanted to cover? Why?
Well, a lot of songs I like to cover, but I don't feel that's the right thing for us to do. Because I think half the reason I like music is the way people have done things. And I think the thing about covering something is you're taking the song and you're taking it back to the chords or whatever, and then you're doing it in a different way. But half of what I like in music, or more than half of what I like in bands, is how they have done something. Do you know what I mean? Like, I like their style. And it's like, we've got a few songs that can be done completely differently and probably turn into disco hits. I mean, seriously, I think we write better songs than stuff in the charts. Not even like It's Not a Ghost or Total Recall. Yeah. They could all be done, if you're really calculating about it, we could be, they could be standout songs on the next Tears for Fears album, Do you know what I mean? And
do you ever get any pressure from...
I like the way we do it, I just don't like that sort of approach.
Do you ever get any pressure from the record company to to make it more, to go in that direction.
Not really. I mean, they like what we do. It's the main problem. They actually like what we do. But
Have you ever felt the urge?
just don't really think it. I mean, all the bands that I like never really made it anyway. Not really. Not in terms of the public. So I sort of feel this is complacent, hypocritical again. But I sort of feel at home where I am. I don't know. There's something about sort of. Something about the mental attitude you need to be big that just like repulses me. When I see these bands deliberately trying to become big, I just don't like that. I don't see any point in it. You know, I mean, I'm quite happy. Like, I'm still alive. You know, I mean, it's like, okay, we don't earn much money, but we earn enough money to live, just about. You know, we get about 80 quid a week, something like that, from music. I mean, that to me is a hell of a privilege. To get that much money out of playing music.
Could you ever see yourselves falling into the same trap as the concerts and working with someone like... Although I still like the stuff that the concerts have done with Jack, I think it's good, but I think there's so much more that can be done with it. Do you think that you might fall into that trap? Or if you'd fall into that trap?
Trap of what?
Well, sort of trying to make the sound more commercial, more accessible. Well, no, accessible is a bad word.
I think when you start trying is where you make the first mistake. You see, it's really funny because like Count the Days, the name of your fanzine, right, was written out of a genuine crazy love affair I had with an American girl, which all went wrong. Which littered our last 2 albums. But and that song Count the Days was has got a slight. It's got a slight American feel to it, I think. It's like the guitar line. You know, originally that was like so country you wouldn't believe it. You know, like when we originally did it, and then we said, "Oh fuck no, this isn't. You know, let's just get this more towards what we want to do, more like us." And so that's what ended up on the record. It's more like us, but it started off as being a real twangy. In fact, live, if you really listen carefully, Max does play such a twangy guitar on it, you know, instead of like...
1,000 Reasons came out the same period as well.
No, that came out later. It came out in the Total Recall era.
We won't get into that, right?
You can, if you like, it's all about the band. I mean, I think we're personal enough on the record not to even... I mean, you probably know just when you listen to the lyrics what's happened to me, which is a unique thing with our band, you know. But anyway, what I'm saying is, like, that was a genuinely like that song. I mean, I wrote it like that. I wanted it to be like that. We didn't even have a record deal at the time. I mean, I just didn't care. It never got heard by anyone except this girl, to be honest, right? And then it came out on Static, and we were touring Germany, and this guy seriously came up to me and said, "How could you do it? We've supported you for these 3 years. How can you write a song like Counting the Days? How can you go for the money just like that?" And I sort of went, does it sound like that to you? Really? Did you really think that's what we've done? And he said, yes. I said, well, yes. Yeah. I really do, you know. And I just said, well, fuck you then. So I meant that as much as I meant All Fall Down. Yeah, because I did like the song All Fall Down. I mean, I meant that. That was mad, but I mean... I meant that. Everything I do, I mean as much. Whether it comes across as being deceitful to other people or fake, I don't care. How can I afford to care? I mean, you know. Well, I can see how it does though, because like we written fucking lyrics to that, and then about a month later, Ocean Rain came out, you know, and then in a fucking interview, McCulloch goes, "Our music's about oceans and mountains," and I thought, well, that's pretty cool. That's it, you know. Every time I sing Count the Days now, everyone goes, "I can the bunny man." Oh fuck! And it's like on Ocean Rain, in fact, it's got like a couple of lines from Winning as well. When you reach the end of your tether, and he goes, "Take me to the end of your tether." So maybe he likes the sound. Maybe he's sort of. Maybe he's. Oh, I used to know him, you see. So maybe he's.
He supported the movie.
Long to it. I think he loves it.
Do you want another drink?
Yeah, double tequila and orange. That's a bit stiff, but then, no, that's right. I bought you 2 bucks. Club orange, right? And some ice, please. So, I don't know. It's like... done all these things and other people do them, but we can't stop doing that song because of that. So I just got to stand there and forget my colour, like oceans and mountains, and that's the main metaphor of counting the days. I mean,
do you write stuff like continually, or do you just do it and get spasms of creativity sort of? Or do you just write all the time?
No, I don't write hardly ever.
Yeah.
That's really true. I just do not write ever. I mean, I write so rarely that it even worries me sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, I can go for months without feeling the urge to say a single thing about anything. And then if something happens to me, then I write something down. It's only if something happens to me. And see, I think life, to most people, I don't know how you feel, but I mean, I feel this anyway, that life is quite boring sometimes. It's a sort of long, constant notes that sort of droning along, and every now and then you just get something that happens. A lot of it's to do with you going out and make things happen for yourself. I mean, you create most of what happens to you. Do you know what I mean? But you get the situations where you really tried for something and then it all went wrong, and you end up happily going back to this droning note because it's safer there. It's like things can't go wrong in this sort of everyday life thing.
Panic behind the bar while they find the tequila.
Oh, yeah. Well, you should know I'm in here by now. Am I raving insensible, or is there some truth in all this? No, and that's why I don't want to write about the boring. I don't want to write about saying I sat in the pub and I got quite bored, or I I went here and I got quite bored, or I went there and I got quite bored. I don't think there's sort of no value to anybody to say that.
You don't want to
so
write
I wouldn't
about,
write that down.
You don't want to write about going to Club Tropicana
or anything. I wouldn't even. I just don't think it's of any value to him. The only thing that's of any value to anyone, if anything, is writing down the extreme things of what you feel and what happened to you. And if you can do that, then someone else knows how extreme another human being can be and can gauge themselves against that. I mean, see, you haven't got to agree with it. I'm not asking people to agree with what I'm saying. I'm just asking them to accept that that's how someone can feel sometimes. And that's the interesting sort of challenge, I think. It's not like, I mean, that's why I really like Psychedelics. You have Winter and then Golden Soldiers. I can't think of more two opposite songs written from more two opposite moods, starting different sides of a mini album.
So what do you think do you think your songs can achieve anything as much as they're not sort of changing people, or no, not changing is a strong word, but and why do you write the things in the first place? Why are you in a group?
Yeah, I've often wondered. Seriously, I've gone through so many phases of why I'm doing this. So many different reasons occur at different times, It's like, when I started off, it was just like, why not?
Yeah.
Well, I've got to do this. Like, this is it. I want to be like Iggy Pop. Then you realise that the best thing to do is not be like Iggy Pop, because he's already done that. And then try and do something of your own, And then you get to the thing of, like, From the Lion's Mouth and all, and going, people in Holland going, this is the most important album for years and years, and you are God, Okay, so I got
what I write about next time.
No, so basically my eventual reaction to being some sort of social commentator was to get drunk. It's just too much. Can anyone live with that? Can anyone really put themselves up as being more knowledgeable something than someone else? Do you know what I mean? I can't. I really can't. And like, that's another phase that I grew out. And that I think you can see how like albums are all reactions to themselves, to themselves. Each album following on is a reaction to the album that went before it. And this is what we're faced with. We're faced with this constant. It's almost like you know what we're going to do next, don't you? Do you know what I mean? And you can probably guess what we're going to do next, and it probably is what we're going to do next. I'm not saying anything, but I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know what I mean. I don't know. It's an interesting story. I think of the sound as being quite an interesting story to follow. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, I feel sort of.
Price.
I shouldn't charge you for that.
Just talk about the way that each album we've done is almost. You almost say that it's a reaction to the previous one, because that. I believe in a lot in if you say something, or if you sing something enough times, if you believe in something, in a way that thing starts to happen to you.
You get
You know what I mean by
system.
that?
You get it out of your system. And
Yeah, you
set
get it out of your system.
And
It's partly an exorcism, but no, because people around you are taking that all in what you're saying all the time. Right. I mean, the people that are close to the band or people that know the group, so they start to treat you. They start to react to what you said, and treat you like that. I don't know how to explain this really. I'm trying to explain why each album that we've then done after that. It's like I'm saying, the reason he said, why did we do it in the first place? Why did we get into music in the first place? And like, with the first album, it was just for the hell of it, and because it's better than doing a job, I thought, you know. And you can sort of hear that on Jeopardy, that's why we're doing it, do you know what I mean? Just sort of raw enthusiasm of it. And then from the Lion's Mouth, it's like, well, there's more to it than that. We're getting serious here, you know. Like, we suddenly realise that this is actually what we are going to do in our lives, you know. It's not just something we're doing part-time. And that sort of reflects that as well. And then Awful Down reflects the fact that a lot of people in various parts of Europe, and even in England, got very heavy about what I was saying on Lion's Mouth, and put me up as some sort of semi-social commentator, leader type.
You're good on Olga Musatast.
Yeah, I mean that's being unpretentious about it, but I mean I'm talking about these people who are going, you know, thank God you're back again, Jim.
Do you think From the Lion's Mouth was your best album?
It was a striking album,
Because the one people
in its own non-striking way.
played stuff. People I played stuff too. And the Lion's Mouth was always one of the
Yeah, it's very coherently put together as well. I mean, that and Shook of Daylight have been the most coherent statements that we've made, really. But not that coherence is everything, but
what you were saying earlier on about I can probably understand what you're like. I can see what you're writing about. I think the trouble is that the lyrics, I can sort of put in context in my own situation very easily. And so I suppose I've got a very shallow viewpoint because I don't look beyond that. And I look at it through my own life, my own situation, what's happened to me.
Absolutely.
okay. Cool.
Talk quickly.
Sorry?
And so
Because the end of the tape.
I've never thought of it. Sorry, but I've never thought of it in terms of your own situation very much.
Of my own situation?
Yeah, I'd only looked at it sort of from my viewpoint. Because
Oh, you mean the lyrics?
Yeah, it's just this.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, it just seems to hit a chord, something that I've wanted to say, or I've wanted to.
Each time we bring out a record.
If I'd just sort of various tracks counting the day.
That's what I was saying. It's like, I thought, what's your name again?
Richard.
And you know, the thing is, it's an interesting story to follow. That's how I look at the sound records. It's like it's something that I just sort of. I'm 27, right? When I started, I was 22. So I feel very much that it's one young person, if you like, getting old, view of things and different things that happen to them. That I don't know. I've got this thing of very much. I'm not going to be immodest, right? I'm going to say something pretentious and stupid and immodest. But a lot of people have told me this, that I seem to be able to say something that they were already thinking, and then I put it on a record, and like in the band as well, I'd be able to just from nowhere somehow say something of what they were feeling as well. In the next song that I write.
Winning stuff.
Do you know what I mean? It's like I've got this habit. I've got this habit of predicting like what's going to happen, sort of in England and things like this. I'm not joking. It might sound a bit pretentious, but it's more to do with the fact that I think people's media output is getting so limited now to like a few newspapers and television. The people and films that are on TV, which can be quite emotional. They can, like Deliverance. See that last night?
No, I don't.
That's a very striking film, you know. And so you've got a whole nation watching that, and like musicians particularly are going to start picking up on the same threads from that film, and the public are going to start picking up the same threads. And so, it's just cool. I think I'd call it keeping in touch with what's going on.
Talking about.
And you automatically have your finger on the pulse if you do that.
Whenever I listen to
feel things happening. I don't know.
Whenever I listen to Winter, I always think of that film Threads that was on, the modern version of the war game.
I can see
I
that.
don't know why. It's good.
It's on again at the end of this
Yeah.
month.
It's good.
We thought of Winter.
Yeah, it was that. Longest 2 hours of my life.
In this film Deliverance, which I've never seen before, right? They go through these rapids, and a guy, because they've just murdered someone, they murdered a homosexual rapist, right? And they go down these rapids, and the guy just cannot bear the thought of what they've done. Not the guy that's been raped, ironically, but the guy who was least involved. Actually, it's strange. He just jumps overboard. Oh no, you think he has? That's right. He's actually been shot by friends of homosexual rapists. Complicated, isn't it? But as they bury him, and you think about when he's gone through these rapids and stuff, and as they bury him, they go, "He was the best of us." So we thought, well, Paul, it takes the best of us. Rapids. It's like that's it. Anyone watching that film is going to think that Warple's about Deliverance now, which it isn't, you see. But it's amazing about things that sort of coincide like that all the time,
I know it's pat trash, but have you seen One from the Heart?
Yeah, I quite like that.
The soundtrack is brilliant.
Yeah, I like to watch it. I like that film, actually. Pat trash. You know it isn't.
Well, I watched it.
It's deliberately done.
I cried all the way through that.
Exactly.
Well, not through it, but I had a good cry afterwards because they were friends.
That's the sort of desperate romanticism that sound all about.
Loads of copies of fancy. I mean, you mentioned Springsteen and One from the Heart, so that's another 10 copies.
Got that on the cover.
Well, I mean, well, I really think he's good. I always have liked him. I mean, it just sounds so bloody hip to say that now.
Have you heard Meeting Across the River on Pointer Island?
I like everything he's done, really, except the really stupid rock tracks that he does. I like all this slow stuff.
Because I was never really into Springsteen. I saw
He's good.
Do you know any good jokes?
I know.
No?
Enemy?
On the Sounds, did you read the Sounds review of the Johnny Waller's review of the Marquis? You know, he did those 2 notes for Marquis. It's quite
Paul and that Shakespeare.
yeah.
Who?
I hope all of them go like this.
Who?
The interviews.
Oh, your interviews, they probably won't, because I think I find that most musicians are, don't say this to them, but I think if they're not really sure about what they're doing, they're very cagey about what they're doing.
What's Steve Fellows like?
He's a bit cagier than me, I think, although he might be a completely different person now.
Do you know they're working on the new League album?
Are they? It's always funny, because I always thought he sounded a bit like Phil Oakey, and I always thought he looked a bit like him as well.
He looks a bit like him.
That's probably it, that's it.
I hope the next album I don't like that.
Hmm?
Do you find fiction? I know you probably haven't liked
Look,
Concerts
to be honest, I
Lyrics.
don't really like the Concerts that much. They're not one of my favourite groups, you know. When they're one of the groups that we got lumped in with, they're not. I don't really think they're not. I mean, Steve thinks we're much more rock and roll than them, but to me, we are like a bit more exciting than them, actually. You know, live and
I
stuff.
think they've lost that sort of ethereal quality.
Yeah, they were always about sort of virtually being standing still and sort of like dreaming anyway. And I thought they started to lose even that, and I thought that was their essence. Their sort of the way they just did sort of strange things in a very accessible way. I think that was what the Concerts were about. So they start accepting accessible things in an accessible way, then I think they've lost what they are about.
No, they get it back because I think they've got it there. Because they got very upset about. I remember reading an interview once somewhere, and they were saying they wouldn't play its history, or the rest of the band wouldn't play its history either because it hurt too much because it didn't make it to the charts.
It hurt too much, it didn't make it to the chart.
Yeah, it got to 42 and the rest of them were so upset about it they didn't play it.
That's not the sort of thing I get upset about. That's all I can say. I mean, the reason I don't do Winter sometimes because I feel that the two reasons why I don't do Winter. I won't do it tonight because I don't feel like it. I just don't feel like that, so I'm not going to sing it. And the other times when I feel so like it that I'm not going to get through the song without breaking down. So I don't sing it on those occasions either. So I hardly ever sing it, actually.
Do you sort of... For you, is it the lyrics that come first and then the lyrics made to fit music, or is it what you have that's...
Music's made to fit the lyrics more than the music. I never fit music. I never fit lyrics to music because sometimes I might have an idea for a song, and then I will base the lyrics. I'll write the lyrics with the music, if you like. I mean, have we got a good song, a good tune or something, and I've got an idea that goes with that, then I will make sure the lyrics then fit in. Well, I have to have an idea. I can't just. That takes a lot longer to do it that way around. I prefer to have. But basically, the best songs are just like me at home on a guitar, singing and playing things out of nowhere at the same time.
So it's not a particularly democratic process. You sort of have an idea.
Democracy kicks in when we discuss how the band's going to do this song. So people have their own parts, which is why a lot of the songs are credited to the sound. So I think if people write a bass line or a keyboard line or a fundamental drum pattern, then in a way they have contributed to the songwriting. No other songwriter looks at it like that. That's the honest to God truth. No other songwriter thinks that is the case. But I do. I think if someone's written a keyboard line that is melodic, or a bass line that's melodic, or a drum pattern that's definite, then I think they've contributed. If I come along with the drums, if I come along with the drum pattern and the chords and the vocals and the riff, then I've written the song completely myself, which is in the case of quite a lot of things that we've done, but not all. Well, I mean, it's about half, isn't it? I've looked. I don't know.
What was it like working with Annabelle now? What's your stiff? She's
boring.
Actually.
Yeah, I thought it was a bit boring.
I never heard it.
You don't need it if you've got the illusion. That's all I can say.
Did you ever see Paul Young doing missiles?
Really?
No, he's joking.
No, it was a joke.
Funny you should watch that, actually, missiles. Do that tonight.
Eh?
I hardly ever do it.
You're going to do it
We did it at the Miami concert, and that was the first time we've done it in England for I don't know how long.
It's
4
brilliant.
years.
It's the first try out.
Sort of a light.
What was the one that you go mad then? Oh, you went mad at the marquee, you went mad on Wildest Dreams.
Did I?
Oh, first, well, when I say with the missiles, you tend to sort of go
Haywire.
haywire is a word, yeah. And,
Out of myself again. Taking a break from reality.
Did you find it difficult doing the old stuff off Jeopardy?
Because I think, well, we don't do. I mean, the only songs that we still do now are Heartland, Missiles, and Unwritten Law. And I mean, to me, they're like great songs.
You doing it?
No, I don't do Unwritten Law. I mean, I can play great songs till the end of the
Another time you were an observer, weren't you?
Eh? Oh,
You were
yeah.
featuring the Observer. See?
really?
Yeah.
Colour Supplement.
Yeah, Colour Supplement. It was put on Mike Dudley.
Yeah, we sort of
Crikey.
up there along.
You never believed it, did you?
Say about.
Put you in
Instead of watching the Bunnymen and U2 and Two Dogs who are bound to make it, I'd rather watch See What Happens in the Sound. I wonder if this guy still is watching What's Happening in the Sound, actually.
Might be here
But he isn't.
Actually,
Actually, a lot of people are going to be. I think a lot of people are going to be here tonight. They haven't seen us for a long, long time. So we've got to be bloody good. And what's the time? Got on half an hour.
You got long enough to psych yourself up there.
Yeah, just about.
Would it be alright to think if we leave? Is there any chance of leaving this in the dressing room?
Yeah, take your chances, but I mean, it should be alright.
Yeah.
It should be alright.
Okay. Great.
Any comments on our interview technique?
Fine. But then you see, you like the band and you know about the band. And it's when you don't, it's going to get. If you really don't know a lot about the group, I think you may be better off not doing the interview.
Well, we're only going to do bands that we like. So.
Then you should be alright, and as I said, unless they are in a bad mood, you know. Although I couldn't be in much more sort of uptight mood than I am now, believe it or not. That sounds a bit strange, but I'm not. I am pretty after that sound check. But I don't know. I think you can suss a lot from. I think it's interesting meeting musicians and what they really, really say about what they're doing. I'm sure a lot of them don't really know what they are doing at all. They're just playing guitar because it's a guitar, and that's. not really the case with me. You know what I mean? It's sort of like, I mean, I have like motives for doing it, whereas I wouldn't just play. I'm not a muser. That's the one thing I'm not. I'm not a muser. I do not care which way round the guitar is strung. You know what I mean? Well, it's something I do, but I wouldn't have cared originally. If I'd been given the guitar the other way around, I'm left-handed, so I started off playing a right-handed guitar anyway.
Well, it'll be interesting. I want to do the concerts next week, so they'll go back to Leeds, so they'll see if I'll ring up Swing Best. It'll be interesting.
Yeah. Don't mention me, though.
No, I won't mention you.
Well, just say Adrian says hello.
Yeah.
I mean, they know who I am. And I mean, I can't, say hello to Mike Scott, because I mean, he's great, and I think he's one of the last, one of the few people who actually like rock music left, but actually doing something about it, instead of moaning about it.
I think I find it really disappointing to see the way music's sort of gone over the last 2 or 3 years.
What, for Waterboys?
No, just generally. I think it's sort of all the shite's just been picked up and dragged up to the top.
If we can get in touch with him, speak to him.
Say that I suggest that we should do a joint gig in London sometime.
Yeah, sure. I haven't actually got his telephone number.
It's a bit vague.
I tried to get in touch with him today, but he came out and said to sleep on his floor this evening, but he's gone to Liverpool, so
Paddington
we're going to try tomorrow and sleep on the bench.
Yeah, Paddington. Also, we thought to do a co-headline at the Palais sometime.
Yeah, right then.
Because I mean, that would be quite a good bill. I think there's quite a lot of people that would go.